and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Marchant Johnson with Love Life Coaching, and I'm so excited that you're here because today's topic is really juicy. We're going to be talking about 7 sexy, confident qualities men love in women. And this video is for you, no matter who you are, if you want to navigate the world and navigate relationships from a place of confidence, because we know confidence is one of those things that both men and women find very attractive in both their dating partners and in their long-term relationship partners. And I'm all about empowering you to feel great about yourself, to show up as that woman of high value and attract and have a great relationship with a high quality man. So be sure to stay to the end of the video too, because I have a special gift for you that you'll be able to get by clicking on the link below called 10 Secrets Every Woman Needs to Know About Men. And this is a really important piece that I created by interviewing hundreds of men over the last few years and pulling out 10 of the key things that I think you really need to know about men. So I think you're going to love that. Now let's just dive right in, shall we, with the 7 sexy qualities of confidence that men love in women. So number 1 is you know who you are. Now there's an idea out there that's pretty prevalent in the world that men are intimidated by women who are confident or who are accomplished. You've all heard, or maybe you've even thought to yourself, maybe I intimidate men. But in interviewing men who are confident and secure in themselves and who know who they are, which is really the kind of man that you want to be with, are actually very attracted to women who know who they are, who know what they're about, who know what their values are, who know what's important to them, who are pursuing their goals and dreams, and who are centering their lives around that. That can be an incredibly attractive quality. And so it's not like you need to show up in a braggadocious kind of way, or that you feel like you have to talk all about your accomplishments all the time. But if you're clear about who you are and what you stand for and what you're doing in the world, and you have big dreams and a big vision for your life, that's going to be incredibly attractive to the right kind of person, to the right man. So that's the first one. Number 2 goes right along with that, and that's you know what you want. And so I have interviewed, as I mentioned, so many men over the years, and one of the things they've shared with me is we really do want to please women, and we really want to make them happy. And by the way, just a little tip, that word happy is a really powerful word to use with a man. But we really want to make them happy, but we don't always know exactly what it is that's going to make them happy or what's going to please them. And so men have said to me, please, please, please tell the women out there to share with us, to tell us what they want. Well, that's important, but in order for you to be able to do that, to ask for what you want and need from a man, and you can do that in a lovely and gracious way, but for you to be able to do that, you have to know what you want. And sometimes we're so accustomed to deferring our own wants and needs to the wants and needs of others that we lose touch with what it is that we would really want and what we would really need. So a good question to ask yourself every day, and especially when you're interacting with a man, is what would make me happy right now, or what would feel good to me right now? And it's okay to make a request to a man. In fact, men like it because it gives them a clear objective to meet, or a clear goal that they can meet if they choose to, that they know they're going to win with. In other words, they know that this is something that you're specifically wanting or needing that would make you happy. So knowing what you want is another sexy, confident quality that men love. Number 3 is you're real and authentic. Now, this is a really important one because when you're real and authentic, you navigate the world from a place of confidence. You don't feel like you have to put on a false facade or pretend to be someone that you're not. You don't feel like you have to bend over backwards to change yourself into someone different than who you think you are based on who you think this other person might want. And you're real and authentic in terms of sharing yourself from a place of confidence, meaning you're willing to share from time to time in a place that may be a little bit vulnerable. Maybe that is part of sharing your hopes and dreams with someone, or maybe that is sharing some of your passions or some of your feelings about things that are really important to you. You see, when we show up in a real and vulnerable way, when we allow someone to see what I like to call those heart glimpses or inside of us a little bit in terms of what makes us tick and what we feel about certain things or sharing our hopes and dreams, that also creates a certain kind of potential intimacy and a comfort level for the man to share in that way with you as well. So it's incredibly attractive. So being real and authentic is number 3 of the 7 sexy, confident qualities that men love. Number 4 is your confidence comes from within. So in other words, you don't have to have a lot of outside feedback or a lot of outside reassurance or a lot of outside data in order to feel good about yourself. You are able to say, I know who I am. I know what I want. Those were the first 2. I can be real and authentic, and I can be comfortable with who I am. And that's not dependent upon the feedback or the compliments or the static that might come back from the outside world. And you see, this is really important because although it's nice to get compliments and positive feedback from other sources, when our confidence comes more from within, then we're not on shaky ground if something doesn't go well or if something takes a little ding on our confidence based on what someone else says or does, because we know who we are from within, and that confidence is more centered from within and not so dependent upon what's happening on the outside of us. So that's number 4, your confidence comes from within. Number 5 is when you are navigating a relationship with a man, and this is particularly in the dating phase. You don't overanalyze his actions. You don't overanalyze whether he's showing up for you in the way that he wants. You let a man prove his interest and his love by the way he shows up. Because we learn about someone and whether or not they're likely to be a good potential partner and whether or not they have the capacity, desire, ability to show up in a way that's going to be deeply satisfying for you in terms of partnership. We learn about these things based on patterns over time by seeing how a man shows up. So this is one of the key things about being in tune with your wants and needs, because then you can share or ask for what you want in a relationship, and you can see whether or not a man has that capacity, willingness, desire, ability to show up in that way that pleases you, that makes you feel comfortable, that sets him up to potentially be a great long-term partner or husband. So you let a man prove his interest and his love, and you don't get caught up in overanalyzing it or getting over anxious about what he is or isn't doing. In other words, you kind of are in the situation where you're observing and you're watching and seeing who this person is over time. And there's no substitute for the time that you want to invest to get to know someone before you choose to commit to them, commit your heart, soul, money, body to someone. Because you really need to know what you're committing yourself to. That's part of like being centered in your own value. Okay, so that was number 5. Number 6 is you have the confidence to set boundaries and standards. And if someone is not able to meet those boundaries and standards, or they don't respect them, or they don't hear them when you express them and respond to that in an appropriate way, you have the willingness to walk away. So there's an idea that I kind of like that says you're hard to get, but easy to lose. And when I say hard to get, I'm not talking about in a game playing kind of way, because I'm not into game playing. I'm all about being real and authentic. That was number 3. However, I am clearly saying that I think there's value in considering that if someone does not respect your boundaries or standards or is continually pushing up against that, and making you feel uncomfortable or making you feel pressured on an ongoing basis. Remember how we talked about patterns? If there's a pattern of that showing up, then that is not setting a foundation for a healthy relationship. And you would have the confidence, if someone's not able to hear, respond in an appropriate way to your standards and boundaries, you would have the confidence to walk away. So that's number 6. You set boundaries, standards. You're not afraid to walk away. You're hard to get, but easy to lose. Number 7 really kind of ties a bow on all of this. And this is a big piece about my work. This is something that I emphasize always with my private and group coaching clients. And that is, you are centered in knowing your own intrinsic value as a woman of high value. You're not desperately seeking approval from a man. You're not feeling the need to impress and try to win someone over. You're not feeling the need to pretzel yourself or morph yourself into who or what you think a man wants. You are comfortable with who you are, and you're all about owning your own value on an intrinsic level from within, which is not dependent upon what is or isn't happening with any man out there. You know your own value as a woman. You know what you bring to the table. You know what you have to offer and bring. You have an open heart and a generous spirit. And at the same time, you have clearly defined boundaries and standards that are self-honoring to you. You see, when we want to be valued and honored and appreciated or loved, cherished, and adored in a relationship, it all starts from within by how we choose to honor, respect, love, and be true to ourselves first and foremost. So whenever you're in a situation where the question is, can I be true to myself, or what feels right or good or comfortable or in alignment with my beliefs and my values? Or should I compromise in some way in order to make this other person happy? I want to encourage you to be true to yourself first and foremost. And this, again, is not in a weird or narcissistic or conceited way. This is just about being self-honoring and being true to yourself. Because when you show up this way, you show up from a place of confidence. People know who you are, and the right kind of people are going to be more attracted to you. The right kind of men are going to be more attracted to you. And the man that you are in a relationship with is going to likely notice, and he may even feel like he needs to step up his game a bit in order to be with you, because he recognizes that you know who you are, you know your value. And if you possess these qualities, these 7 sexy, confident qualities that men love, you're likely to bypass those kind of men who are not going to respect and appreciate and love you, and draw in the kind of men who do. So I encourage you to dance with this a little bit. Feel free to share with me below, make a comment, let me know what stands out for you, or anything else you'd like to add to the conversation. If you haven't already subscribed, I would love to have you subscribe here below. And also, please be sure to check out the gift by using the link below or in the description for 10 secrets every woman needs to know about men. And I will see you here soon on my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.